You know what? I'm opening the last two spots up to the general public for the group buy. That way, we can actually get more public people to make an incentive to tell their friends to join.
Explain. So basically, you spend $5.50 and you get a pound of low grade. Is that what
Well,
that?
what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the last two spots up because the last two spots are like it's me, Nick, and Andrew. And I don't know if you want to get in, but I know you grow your weed, and I don't know if just low grade. It's good for like cooking or R&D or just personal smoking.
Right.
But I was gonna break it down and just put it to where if you get 200 or 250, you get a QP.
I might know. So one of my cancer patients would probably be into that. Cause
Let me
that,
know because
yeah,
we want to put the order in probably tomorrow.
yeah. I'll reach out to him once we get done here tonight.
About something too. Somebody
On
just
Hey, Anthony,
side.
can you turn a light on?
vendor group buy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I moderate that. So yeah, just give me a PM or DM.
I will. After I get done here, somebody just messaged me, so I got. Yeah, what? Okay,
Kelly.
she's got something she wants to ask you.
Where
That's why
I'll get to them. They just take.
other people's, but honestly, it's a perfect with all my anxiety and
not quite as old as me, but I could have.
Okay.
Track the car down?
What's that?
Did they ever track that car down?
Yeah, they found it. What, Alicia?
Okay.
I see it. Send it to me. I see it. Yes.
And at least did Nick do a good job cleaning? My wife's given me the ultimatum. Is
she got.
I've
Okay.
Why would you?
it's not the one who ripped you off, is she?
At home with my daughter when I was.
Opportunity to poke some fun, I will.
It's all good, man.
Okay. And we'll just go live from this channel, Nick, or do you want us to move?
Oh, you can go live from it.
Okay.
You can go live from this channel.
Okay. And just whoever you're going to bring in, bring in. If not, I'll go with Anthony as jump in about how edibles been in bed since last Wednesday. And getting up, basically I get out of bed to do these. Talk to Nick on whatever we have to do.
Okay. As my daughter would say, you don't have the Kukara virus.
If I did have it, it would make part of that job is talking for 8 days for COVID. Yeah, so I would have rather tested positive for.
Wow.
Do put 2 slots was allowed to participate in the last end of this, so we were within the legal 3 ounces,
Right.
and 250. You definitely get a bang for your buck.
They'll still take care of their pains and all that.
A cold, like some kind of stress.
They're from elsewhere.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So not the
Comes and it just the buds are like a little bit scrumpy.
is used to paying my prices, but
Okay.
yeah. But he's so how I base my all the same bud that I have, but it depends.
For sure, everyone definitely would.
Not this is definitely a 10 out of 10 scoring, but after it dried and
My own supply of bud, I'm tired of paying for bud. I got
space, I can teach you how to grow. It's real simple. I got the
to move to so I can myself up financially to be able to for the community as a whole.
right.
Because not for trademarks and licensing with it or the makes it go. It's a board that runs it. And
Right.
it also could open up a fraternity house, somewhat dispensary in any in your state. I can give you a charter, open up a house, do what you want to do. You have a medical license, so well, you can do whatever you want to do.
That's a good idea.
It's literally I made it the only 420 fraternity in existence.
Okay.
So I
Yeah, I
turn into a for-profit business, or we have real owners, somewhere donations are disappearing, money is
forever, and then $10 ever we see to charge every time we want to charge it.
what if and the dues go back into the house? So, say for instance, you have over 154 members at your house for your charter. That's 154 dues going back into the house to make sure that you guys have all the equipment, all the stuff you want to do. If you want to add on an extension to the house, guess what? Your followers do that because you guys are a charter. You guys are fraternity.
Right.
You only follow our guidelines based on what you present to the public. Like,
Right.
hey, these guys are on the one banner for this. But other
Right.
than that, your house is a grow house. You want to teach growing. So if people want to come learn growing, they go to your charter and go talk to you because that's where
Right.
the growing happens for Psi Sigma Sigma Delta.
Okay. So when I start going live, I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves, and then I'll introduce first and Martel. It's Martel Holmes, but you're not a patient yourself, are you?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm not using for
You
medical.
self medicate. So basically, Anthony, you'll be my medical.
Okay.
And then if cool too, it usually lasts about the actual show, and then we have a question and answer period after that. So go ahead and mute yourselves, and I'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right.
Mhm.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in tonight to FLPC Presents 585 Live. I'm your host, Mike Dahl. Today, we're going to be discussing a topic that's dear and near to me, medical marijuana. As most of you know, I've been a medical patient since about 2016. That's how I got into being an advocate and everything. So, Anthony, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, this is Anthony Manna, and obviously I work for myself. The medical marijuana, as far as stress, headaches, and anxiety, not having to take the pills that the doctors prescribe to you, and this is actually going in the right direction to where I could actually, probably function a little bit better than what you normally would.
What kind of pills were you on before you actually became a marijuana patient, medical marijuana patient?
No, we have, honey, come here for a minute. My wife does all the medicine for me. What's the anxiety medicine and everything that I take? And the blood pressure. I know we take blood, two different kinds of blood pressure medication. Let me see. Anti medicine.
Beta law.
Zoloft, 100 milligrams.
Okay. Now,
And something else. Yes, I'm sorry.
Now, as being a patient, does the being a medical marijuana
And last time I went to the doctor to have a checkup, she said all my numbers and that are way down to almost where it would be for like a normal person. She come right out and asked me, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm doing medical marijuana and eating edibles." She said, "Are you serious?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm not joking." I said, it helps." She said, "Well, yeah, it's showing in your numbers." So she says, "Whatever you're doing," she says, "keep it up." And she says, "We'll see you in 6 months, and you might not have to do a lot of this stuff again." So,
and how's it help out with your anxiety?
oh, it actually helps out. I get like real mellowed out, and don't get like those stress headaches and that from the anxiety.
Right.
Get really relaxed, and I also then I get the munchies, and then I can eat good too.
Okay, and that also helps out because you're probably eating healthier. Because you've said your diabetic numbers have come down, so I would assume because of the cannabis and everything, that is helping everything else in your body get in check.
Yes, it is. I several different things that I use, or what I can get. It helps out a lot with the blood pressure, so I'm not like. Getting really like, where I'm like really stressed out or anything like that there, and eating a little bit better than what we normally. I should say better than what I have in the past.
Right.
So it's helping. It's taking some time, but it's definitely helping a lot, though. Yes.
Right. Now, with the MRTA being signed, that kind of changed a few regulations for medical patients. It gave us access to flower, which still dispensary flower is dispensary flower. So it's it's a step in the right direction, and we're actually in the 60-day waiting period of the medical marijuana grow regulations to actually be approved and everything. When they're approved and everything, do you think you'll either start your own home grow or like get professional with that, or do you think you'll like become where you have a caregiver growing your own, taking advantage of those new regulations that are part of the MRTA?
It would probably be to where I can't personally do it here. One, I don't have the patience, and two, just where we live, I can't do it. So that would be something I would have to search out to have somebody do for me, and point me in the right direction as far as what needs to be done or what I need to do to help the process out on their end. Then.
So basically, this is what's allowing patients, if they can't grow, signed up to 3 caregivers. And if you're their first patient, each caregiver can grow up to 3 plants in for you at one time and 3 plants in veg. And then after that, each one additional plant. So it's possible that, you'll be able to have 3 different people helping you, provide you with your medicine, where you won't have to be, you'll know exactly what's in them coming from and everything. So that is actually one thing, of New York people here that can help Five Cannabis Club on Facebook or the Vendors of New York Discord group. That can get the help they need, and even right now get the benefits they need. And that's kind of get involved in the Discord group without going in too much of everything, but just how did you find
that doing an outdoor event? Outdoor cannabis event a couple hours from my house, and I actually set up next to some crazy dude, and And we just started talking and chit chat, and he says, "Hey, well, check this out." So I, when I got home and got kind of relaxed and everything, then I just been kind of nice in the different directions and the different help.
Oh, okay. And how important is like community like this? How important is that for a patient? Being because when I had the kit. You could only buy cartridges that were half a gram, and it was $99 per half a gram. That would 3 days, if that.
And you don't know what's in them either.
Yeah, and you don't know what's in them and all that. And the other thing is that you didn't have a choice in you were, these are the products, this is what you get. And so when I was becoming a patient, it would I didn't have any options except either looking on the black market or taking things into my own hands. And those both, at that time, can both be very scary. Especially if there's, I know some people are different than you and I, and have no problems doing things that I probably buy. These packages, they'll say Fritos with the pot leaves on them. They're all just they're you don't know what you're getting because 1,000 people are selling the same bag with 1,000 different products.
And just don't know what's in there. So who can you trust? And that's where this Discord thing comes in handy because you kind of get to know who's who in that, and
Right.
kind of get
Trying to find out who the people who really care and who the scammers are. The people who are just trying to make a buck and all that.
and it's how many bills can they put in their pocket and the hell with what they get.
Right. I want to go ahead and bring in my next guest, who is Martel Holmes. He is the founder of Phi Sigma to Delta Sigma fraternity. One of the two. I either said it backwards or got it.
It's Psi. Yes,
He was my guest. Is one smarter people I know about edibles and everything. Come on. And I also see that another expert has joined our group that I'm going to get to him in a little bit. Mr. Shenanigans. I'm sorry I forgot your name already, but I'm going to bring you online here in a bit as well, so we can go into the growing aspect as well. And, on tonight, if you want to, we're going to have a question and answer period after we finish the show. Thank you. So, Marta, a bit about what you do with your edibles, making sure that the medical patients get them and they know how to use them. What aspects do you take in the cannabis industry with medical marijuana and all that?
I think dosing is the most important. Understanding what the dosage is and being able to provide that dosing as a fact. Because medical patients are dosing for their health, they're dosing for their their bodies and things they need to do to get themselves into the right working shape. So if you're going to be in the industry where you're going to, market toward medical patients, you should have a strong dedication to dosage. You should have a strong dedication to letting people know exactly what is in your food or edibles besides the dosage of the THC. We're talking allergies. We're talking, anything that can construe with other medications that they're taking when it comes to peanuts and things like that. Full package labeling, being able for them to read the ingredients and being able to discern for themselves if this is safe enough for them to eat because they are taking their own medical, medical rights into their own hands. So I focus on dosage and information on my packaging, making sure that they don't have to come back to me and say, hey, what happened? What is this? What is that? No, as soon as you get it, this is your dose, your percentage, this is your ingredients, and this is what you should do if you want to go more care that's provided with the edible. If you're doing recreational, here you go. You know what you're doing. Let's go. Let's get it. Blah blah blah. But if you're going medical, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve with this medical, edible? And how can I assist you in doing that?
So if I'm having an issue sleeping, say every night I wake up at 3 a.m. and then I'm asleep till I'm awake until like 4 or 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. What would you suggest for someone like that?
For edible wise, I always would suggest. See, the thing with edibles is you gotta figure out what type of edible you're taking, because some edibles use distillate, some edibles use bud. When you come to distillate, all your terpenes, all your things that you want as for medical are stripped away. It's just raw THC. So you will not want something distillate heavy to be something for a sleep aid, because you're just getting high. It's
Right.
not going to be those full spectrums and get you those types of cannabinoids you need to help you sleep. So if you were to do something, I would say yes, go with flower-based edibles. If you're going to go with indica dominant, to make sure that you are able to get that push to be into that position where you can get some sleep. For me, I like soft things like tea. You may want to do something in the sense of like small candies, something to suck on, something that doesn't really make you full. Because if you're full, you don't want to go sleep on a full stomach.
Right.
So you want something slight that's going to give you just what you need. And if you're doing something and sucking on it, you're taking it in sublingually. So that means it's going to hit you a little bit harder than if you were to ingest it in your stomach and go through the whole process of, the liver and all the other things like that.
Okay. And now with where New York is with legal MRTA coming through, what are some important things? We've already talked about like the packaging and everything. What are some other important things that patients should be looking for and out for?
Testing.
A
whole lot of testing.
And what should they?
Testing's your best friend.
What should they be looking at?
Terpene testing, cannabinoid testing, heavy metal testing. We want to go to full spectrum. You want to know what you're putting in your body, no matter what it is and where it's coming from. I want to know if this the littlest bit of metal. I want to know if the littlest bit of this, because again, it tells you two things. One, the person who is selling you this or giving you this or trade whatever you're getting in return cares about your health just as much as they care about their health.
Okay.
And two, the quality of the source. If your source is quality, and guess what? That's not something that's going to just magically disappear. You know what I'm saying? It's something that stays if you're getting your
the edible side to him about coming in, but unmute yourself, enter and everything, and then we'll go from there.
My name's Shane Gallagher, and Thanks for having me on tonight. Hey, what was your name again? What was the gentleman that was on with the edibles?
Bartel.
Martel Holmes, yes.
Cool. Let me ask you, just to go on that, are you, it sounds like you're making the edibles. Are you looking at strain specific that make edibles that are towards those type of ailments and looking for that at all? Or?
It'll only be on by request, because if you're going to dive that deep into that, you definitely want to leave some type of paper trail for someone else, or even the person you're doing it for, to invest more information and more time into finding the correct cannabinoids or the correct process that's going to hit those CB1, CB2 connectors. Because there are over 130 cannabinoids out there. So you would, in essence, be a pioneer in finding out if, hey, this THCV is definitely good for my sleep, because I've been doing this off and on with different types of levels of it and different combinations of it. I tell people all the time, edibles are not straightforward. They're not black and white. They are the most full spectrum state glass in there, and that's what you get when it comes to the cannabinoid spectrum.
and again, what we'll find in New York State is that when it does come to edibles, they are in their own class of their own in terms of licensing, where they typically need to be manufactured. And you are exactly right when it comes down to the in-depth description of exactly what's in it. But that goes one step further once we get into the ability to really detail out, for example, the terpenes and the distillates, and you can really start pulling out those different cannabinoids, and then that's what they do in California is they break down
Right.
cannabinoid and then they reintroduce it into a medium, chocolate, gummies, whatever it may be, and then they rebuild that based upon, and then they can also characterize it.
So let's get into your expertise. Let's give us a little bit of your history. What made your brain so full of knowledge that you do have?
So I've got probably pretty close to 30 years of cannabis experience. I grew up in Northern California. I mean, I'm originally from upstate New York in the Southern Tier, or unfortunately, but fortunately for my family, I mean, they were divorced, and I've grown up as old. I did high school and ate for $50. That hasn't changed much today.
Right.
You might all want to look. It's called Marin County. It's just north of Huey Lewis, and Neil Sean from some construction worked on great. Yeah, lots of people there. It comes as, we as kids in Northern California, this is what we grew up with. And so, we've all, I think, trying to legalize, not just in California, but everywhere, right? We have been on the forefront of the push in California since the 80s. What makes me a little bit of an fact that, we have the black market, but, I was in the gray market. I was a partner out here in Northern California. We had 100 centers. And we, California, building and helping laws and regulations around cultivation. Okay. So going back and stuff that was redundant, was, like 24-hour infrared cameras, and then, the laws were redundant in some case, and it was everything around. And you'll find as we continue to evolve in New York State, those will be issues that will come to light. It's going to be important to outline, what is your, not just your security plan, what is your cultivation plan? What does that look like from a material? What kind of nutrients are you going to be? How is that going to be pushed off? How is that, in upstate New York, we a lot of times look at the farm cannabis is going to be when you're sucking in water, right? Create stuff too.
And that's looking at the corporate side and everything. This episode, we're with the medical side. One of the great things about the MRTA is it's allowing medical patients to actually start growing. So the regulation says they'll be able to grow three plants in veg and 3 plants in flower. So for the first time grower, for someone just starting, what are some tips, some hints you can give them, things they should look for as they're starting out, so they don't go through and make all the mistakes that you and I have made when we were first starting out and went through all the growing pains that we've all gone through?
You know, I'm gonna say, just like everybody else, you know, if you know, it's a weed, and it does grow naturally, but with just a little bit of love, you can really make these weeds. Into what they are, this beautiful blooming flower. I you know, how I got started was popping seeds, you know, popping, you know, every seed that I had collected over and put in a little jar and pop, you know, 20 seeds and, you know, put them, you know, go out and buy that, go out to your Home Depot.
You know, I put that in a jar. Going to a breeder and stuff, I want to look for when they're searching out a breeder.
I think that's not a double-edged sword. I think and so many people that have overspliced and crossed genetics, right? We bring up that quite as much sativa in the marketplace.
Right.
And if you think about sativa, gets you something the equivalent that you can harvest in 7 to 10 weeks. It's a pure business decision nowadays, right? It's a pure business. Whereas I believe, you know, where you're also located makes a difference on the seed stock you're going to use. For somebody, you know, that's got really good conditions, maybe in Northern California or somewhere where the temperature, you got hot days, cool nights, low rain, low humidity, I might, as a cultivator, want to take a look at a heavy duty strain, the blue, you know, the Girl Scout cookies of the world, because we know they come from the original strains, and everything's been a handful of those strains from there.
Oh, all right. Now you've got the Girl Scout cookies by the Blue Dream, by the Skunk Number 1, by the Northern Lights, by the Afghan, and it's now called Baba Boo Ba Ba Ba.
But if you look at it in the underlying, you start following the genealogy back, you're going to come to one of the staple, the Afghani, you know, things.
Right.
So again, you got to take into consideration what you want. If you want those really nice, super shiny, you know, indoor, and that's what you're going for, you know, look at those exotic strains. If you're going to do, and you've got a condition where even in a greenhouse or a light depth setting, I might want to push more of a form of air conditioning plus some form of speculative lighting. Growing in the ground, I mean, you can get some really nice, solid nugs out of some of those old strains. And again, I'm an old hippie flower guy, so I like those. I like the back in the day.
Wonderful. Me too. And I actually just finished up a Panama Red that I had been sitting on for 20 years. And, brought me back.
And he actually had some Panama Red that he crossed with some Gorilla Glue, and he's got some seeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might want to have him get. I had a Panama Red. So that was kind of same premise, I would say, if you thing, and everything to it. But anyways, so as we wind down here, do you have any more in for the commercial grower or people in the business, but for the medical patients themselves? Just any other advice before we wrap it up here?
As much as you want to think that you can just put a seed in the ground, people just don't naturally have a green thumb, and so there's always going to be a need for the dispensary or that person to grow from them. But for anybody else, pick a seed. Just throw a seed in. I encourage and welcome you to do it. You're gonna have some that are gonna die on you. You're gonna see how long it is between waterings it takes to kill the plant in different stages of the cycle, and how delicate they are in the beginning. But it's like anything else. If you end up wanting to get out a good product that's going to provide the medicine that you want, that strain is out there in a seed somewhere. Start practicing now so that when you pay that $20 or $30 a seed that's going to guarantee female,
Right.
you can grow it to get the $300 or $400, $500 worth of product that comes out of it.
Right. So wonderful. It's Sean.
Shane.
Huh?
Shane.
Shane. Okay, I'm sorry. I just see Shane. Shane, and it's last name?
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, I want to thank all of our three guests tonight. We had Anthony Manna, Martell Holmes, and Shane Gallagher on tonight, kind of just diving into some of the issues of medical marijuana and everything.
Real quick, I just want to say for anybody watching on Facebook, I know it was a little skippy and laggy. I think once the live ends, it'll refresh, so someone you can check it out there. But I did share the links for the Discord group. Anyone's more than welcome to come in and join that.
Okay.
It's very, very clear, not skipping a beat. So I want to throw that out there. And the other thing I want to put out there is we have Shannon joining us. If you want to touch base with him on medicinal needs.
Oh, is he in the room now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're down in the corner, huh?
I can't even see it. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So yeah, if you want to bring yourself on camera and unmute yourself, we can go. I can go ahead and start talking with you.
1 second. Let me change his permissions real quick.
Okay. Oh. And by the way, I can't believe I made it through the show without coughing. How sick I've been.
All right, continue on. He has no mic.
Okay. Maybe we can work him in here short, like maybe Tuesday, Thursday we can get him in for a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody has any questions, then go ahead and open it up to questions. Feel free. If not, we're gonna have Nick turn on his cam and have him start dancing for us.
A little dance. No, I think the one thing I was going to have Shannon touch on a little bit is what I've been working with him on is letting, really, really going for that CBN. For him, he's found that pain management aspect of it.
Right.
Me letting that plant go longer, his feedback on that. I kind of wanted to touch base on that. Right. I know Shane into the, there's 113 different cannabinoids, and each one of them have a different healing effect, essentially. Finding that exact cannabinoid that works for you can take some time.
Right. And that's the thing with like hunting and everything. You really got to do your research and find what exactly affects your body and how it affects you and find the best one for you.
Edward, how you doing tonight?
And so if anyone else doesn't have any questions, I'm just going to go ahead and end the...
I have a question for Martell if he's still joining us.
Martell. Looks like he's muted and not coming back.
Everyone's afraid of the hard questions from me. I'll let you keep asking the question.
Well, yeah, your questions kind of scare people sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and end the live feed, and then if anybody wants to just start asking questions and stuff, feel free. But other than that, I'll see you on Thursday. Oh, don't forget to join us tomorrow for more of our round table discussion where we kind of just discuss whatever's on our mind, and we might have a giveaway or two or something like that. So we'll see you soon.
Go ahead.
Thanks for having me. You guys have a good night, okay?
Yeah, thank you for coming, definitely. So the live feed is actually